So I want to talk about the Rosary and the Mala. Two different tools, similar, yet different functions in my practices. So if you've been following along for a while, you've been seeing me talk about the Rosary a lot when I'm talking about the Lady of the Bones and my practices there. The Rosary is a very important, one of the key tools that you use with the Lady of the Bones, because it's a different kind of mode of magic. It's a different kind of mode of movement, but also because it's a devotional tool. It's not Christian prayers. That's not how I'm using the Rosary. She has her own. The Lady of the Bones has her own prayers, and dependent on what you're doing, if you're doing a healing, there's a whole healing prayer set. If you are doing a petition for something, there's a whole petition one. If you're going deeper into her mysteries, there's a mysteries rosary. There's a unity rosary. So building deeper bond and strengthening the bond between you and her. There are all kinds of different ways. So the rosary is a variation of the mala. Christians saw the mala and then turned it into the rosary. The difference is the mala is just a solid string of beads. Normally, when you're saying the mala, you are saying one particular chant, mantra, saying for every single bead. For the rosary, you have different beads that have different prayers. When we say prayer, we're talking about spoken. So spoken magic, spoken prayer, spoken petition. There's all kinds of ways that we can think about this, because voice is our ultimate tool. Fueled by emotion, carried through vibration, and it's the vibration that changes the physical world. This is magic. Okay, so now we've got that out of the way. When talking about the rosary is more of that connection. So strengthening and putting energy into that bond between me and the Lady of the Bones. That is the primary use. The secondary use, when we talk about magic and changing physical world or changing self transformations, world transformations, when you're working with her in this way, you're not designing the energetic path that needs to happen. She's doing that. You are feeding her energy and the intention, the goal that needs to happen, that you were looking for to happen. And then she is creating that energetic path through all the cycles, all the patterns that need to be touched and moved and shifted or changed in order to make the goal happen. In Mala technique, I am specifically designing the elements and modes of that path, and I am shifting and moving those energies through the work that I'm doing in the Mala. As I'm going through each one, I'm shifting those energies. So it's a little bit of a different mode. In the Mala, I am very involved in how it's coming together, what energies are being brought together, in what order, and how they are moving and blending to create the goal. In the rosary with her, I am giving that path over. She is the one that's creating, and I am the one that is feeding that creation. In a lot of the spell work that I've been doing lately, it has been a combination of the two, because there's two sides to this. So I start with the connection, the mode, as far as, letting her create the energetic path. And then I'm using the mala in the physical actions aspect of physical world. So it's not internal transformations that I'm using these two modes, it's external world. So the things outside of me, my living life, the physical world. And I'm using these two modes doing that, letting her create the energetic path. And then with Ushar, the Father of Worlds, I am working on the actions that need to happen in physical world. So yeah, in the end, you can use whatever tools, and they're tools. They're not specific to a specific religion or a specific culture. They come from these things. The mala has a culture that it was born in. The rosary has a culture that it was born in. But like all things, they're tools. We can change those tools to create new aspects of them, to use them in different ways. So, yeah. I've changed the rosary, so it's her rosary. Because I don't deal in the Christian pantheon. It's not my thing. I'm not Christian. But, even the cross, it's the goddess in the center. Because it's the elemental cross. It is the 4 elements. It is death and rebirth. This is all the goddess. But different ways to use different tools and to get different results or to move from different modes. Things to consider, things to think about, and how you use them and how you view them. And a lot of people will see the rosary and automatically think, oh, they're a Christian witch. Oh, they're, dealing with Christian pantheon, these kinds of things. I don't. For me, I am somewhere between animistic and paganism, a blending, weirdness, because it's not religion. It's connection. It's bond for me. And it's practices that I do. But this is a highly effective tool for a devotional, to create bond, to strengthen bond, to feed bond, but also as a magical tool in order to, petition or do work through that bond. So the healing aspect that you're doing, it's through that bond. You're opening that bond, you're strengthening it, and you're healing. It comes from her through you into who you're healing. Different modes, different ways of looking at it, different ways to use tools. Experiment, explore. The more you know, the more you grow.